Hi. Someone asked me to make a video on repotting orchids, and I happen to have one here that needs to be repotted, so I thought I would show you. So the first thing that you need to know about orchids is that they are not plants. They are epiphytes, which means in their natural environment they grow on trees, and so they're not packed, their roots are not packed in soil. So the first thing that you need is a good orchid bark mix. Do you see how light this is? There's nothing in here that compacts together. This is my personal blend. I make it up with a little bit of sphagnum moss and a little bit of orchid bark. I think there's some perlite in here. I think there's some charcoal in here. You can buy this commercially, or you can and pay a lot of money, or you can mix it yourself. You see how easy? I mean, that's just, there's nothing there that compacts at all. It's really important. Okay, so that's the first thing that you need. The second thing that you need is an orchid that needs to be repotted. This Phalaenopsis is recovering from it. Well, it was pretty sick there for a while, and so I kept it soaking in water for a long time, and it has recovered quite well. Watch this. You see how that just easily falls off of there? That's what I'm talking about as far as allowing the soil, the growing medium, it's not soil, making sure that your growing medium is not compacting. Now growers, when you buy one like at the grocery store, it's going to come with a little plug in here at the very core. You see this kind of spongy stuff? That's going to be right at the center. That's what they use to start the baby. But I want you to see something. You see how the roots that were in this core are not green, they're not healthy. So I take all of that off of there. Sometimes that can be pretty hard to do. Be real careful, because you do not want to hurt the roots. Do you see all these yellowing roots in there? So orchid roots are part of the plant. They actually absorb light and water and nutrients themselves. They're not just like plant roots. So I get all of that off of there so that those roots too will have a real good chance of getting to light and water. The next thing I do is I take out any bad roots, and some of them won't come out real easy, and so I'm gonna take a real good sharp scissors. I'm gonna dip it in some alcohol. The reason I do this is because I don't know where this scissors has been, and there might be something on there that I don't want on my new baby orchid. So I take this and I find any roots that are in real bad shape that need to be cut off, and so I'll cut off the tip of it and take that rotten root off of there. Just dispose of that. Okay, so now you've got your orchid here. Look, see, she is recovering. See, you see her little babies? She's got little babies right there. Yeah. Okay, so my method, which professional orchid growers don't agree with, but I have found it the easiest way not to overwater your orchids. I have here a clear glass vase. This clear glass vase is going to allow me to see what's going on inside my orchid and let the orchid roots get lots of light. So I'll tell you why. So I'm just going to add some medium in there. Oh, there's another root that needs to be cut off. Just cut that off. Don't cut the whole root off. I mean, she needs everything that she can get. There's another one. Just clean them up a little bit. Now, you know, some people, they're gonna they're going to say, oh, you should have taken off all that bad medium. Well, I know that this medium is fairly young because I just put it in here about 6 months ago while she was sick. You can take that all off of there and replace it with good medium. I'm not worried at this point. I'm going to put it gently in this pot. The roots that are going down are going in the pot. You see this root here? This root is not, she's coming up. I'm going to leave her outside the pot. People say this is unsightly, but that's how orchids grow. And then I'm just going to continue filling the pot with my orchid mix. I don't know what that is. Until she's completely supported in there. You don't have to pack it tightly. You don't have to squish it down in there, which might hurt your roots. Just continue to hold her up right with one hand and fill her up with the other. Shake it a little bit. I don't want you to push at this point. If you push, you're going to damage those roots. So shake it down in there real good. Once it's shaken down, add a little bit more. So here we go. I've got a repotted orchid. Now, the reason that I used a clear glass pot is because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill this up full of water. Fill it full of water. I'm going to, once it's full of water, I'm going to put it on the shelf and I'm going to go find something else to do. I'll wait about, I don't know, 10 minutes, however long it takes for this medium to absorb as much as water as, excuse me, absorb as much water as possible. So there we go. She's all potted up in there. Now, I'm going to fill her up full of water. I'm going to wait 10 minutes or longer. This is a phalaenopsis. They don't really care. They can sit in water for a while. But then I'm going to get a good hold on her and I'm going to dump out every bit of the water that's in there. And here's my secret. Once you get all the water out and you put it back on the shelf, you'll be able to see there will be a little bit of water at the bottom of the pot. As long as you can see water on the bottom of the pot, you do not need to water your plant. Then, one of these days, you're going to pick it up, you're going to look real close, and it's going to be dry on there, dry down all around the bottom, and that's the day that you fill it back up full of water. Go do your dishes, wait 10 minutes, and then come back and dump all the water out again. What will happen with this orchid is the roots will find their way to the outside. I can already see some of the roots on the outside because of the way I potted it. But you're going to see some of the roots on the outside. That's perfectly all right. That's actually what you want. The roots themselves need a little bit of light, need a little bit of, a whole lot of sunlight actually. They need a little bit of light and they need just a little bit of water. Using this method, you won't overwater your orchid, you won't underwater your orchid. You're going to look down there about once a week or so and say, I see water down in there. When I see water down in there, I'm not going to water it again. When I don't see any water, then I'm going to fill it up with water, let the medium soak the water, and dump it back out. Simple. And now I've got a great new repotted orchid, and hopefully that she'll bloom. I hope this helps.